Hi, it's Alana Corso, Vice President Experience Broker Associate at Sereno. This week we're chatting about trees and understanding how they can affect your home. Trees are beautiful and can add a lot to your property and to your neighborhood, and they obviously are super important for our environment. However, they also can cause issues, and so this week I'm chatting about all the different issues that trees can cause so you can pay attention to them. First, we're going to talk about common issues that can arise with trees on your property. First and foremost is looking at the type of tree and what kind of debris that tree can cause, whether it's a deciduous tree and drops leaves, or pine needles, or acorns, or what, and looking at sometimes, or an olive tree can, if it's a fruiting olive, can drop olives. So looking at kind of that and looking at the debris that the tree can cause, and is it gonna, plug up your gutters every year that you need to clean them out? Is it gonna stain patios and, hard surfaces or furniture? But kind of looking at that debris and understanding, again, what type of tree it is, what it causes, and just being really aware of it. Secondly, it's important to look at the location of trees on your property. Is a tree growing, really close adjacent to the home where the roots could affect the foundation or plumbing or drainage for that property? So really taking a close look at that and possibly getting, an inspector to look at, is it affecting the foundation or plumbing issues? Because they're super important things to know about. Also with the location, if the tree is super close to the house, does it have, branches that are overhanging the roof? Because, if there's a large storm or, something with, high winds or lightning, which is pretty rare for us on the peninsula, but, something to consider is could those branches drop onto a roof and cause damage? So something to look at for that as well. One thing that's super important to consider also is, with that tree is, what it does to your fire risk. A lot of the time we talk about, how when we're looking at that location of trees is the proximity. If the tree caught in fire, would it potentially, protect or hurt the house? So looking at kind of your defensible space around your home for your fire risk. Another thing to consider with trees, and a common issue, is understanding the insects that might affect that tree. I know Mark and we had a large tree in our backyard of one of our prior homes that would get an annual infestation of aphids, and it would drop that sticky honeydew all over our patio and furniture. It was like a sticky mess. So unless we had it treated by a local tree company to control the aphids, it would be a big mess. So it's kind of understanding, do certain trees get affected by insects, knowing that and understanding that there might be some maintenance that goes along with it. So the next thing that is super important to consider with having trees on your property is looking and researching and knowing your local ordinances. A lot of people will, and they don't necessarily understand what the local ordinances is. So, getting on your local city municipality's website to understand and research, what is a heritage tree? By definition, is it, the type of tree? Is it the size of tree? A lot of the time it's certain types of, species of trees are protected, and then a certain diameter of their trunk size. And so understanding kind of what the rules are surrounding your trees in your area about, maintenance. If a tree is diseased, what are the rules about taking it out and any permits that might need to be obtained? And then also, what is required to replace it for the tree. A lot of cities say if you take a tree out for, a particular reason, say it's diseased, you have to replace it with a certain type of tree. So it's kind of understanding and knowing and doing that research ahead of time. It's never usually a good idea to remove a tree without researching it, because usually there can be pretty stiff penalties if you don't obtain the proper permits and whatnot with your local city. So lastly, the biggest point to consider is hiring a professional. There are a lot of certified arborists in our area, and so it's really important to reach out to that professional and hire somebody to kind of do an evaluation of the trees on your property, if it's a property you're considering for sale or purchase, and how to maintain those trees on your property. Super important to speak to an arborist to really kind of understand how to maintain it, what you would need to do if it's causing issues at your house, and then how to enjoy it for many years down the road. But that's all I've got for trees. If you have any other subjects you'd like me to cover or have interest in me talking about, drop me a comment or message below. Make sure to follow me on YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care.